Research from IHS said that the growth of digital communications in the world is not coming from P25 or Tetra, it's coming from DMR, right?
From DMR,
so
that's correct.
You're playing the right game.
We are playing the right game, and we think the timing is correct for us to capitalize on that market.
Time I am going to be interviewed, and that interview is going to take place just over there, but now I have to search for Alyssa Burkett.
Alyssa's up there.
Alyssa's up there.
Yeah.
I can see her sitting down. I can see her sitting down there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to go up, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me go up. So this is the shortcut, right?
Yes.
This is the shortcut. Okay. This is Alyssa from JVCKENWOOD, Alyssa Burkett.
Yes, Alyssa.
And she's going to interview me in this room, which is the Diamond office.
Diamond office. So
okay,
welcome to Studio One.
Studio One.
Where do you see the industry going, and how do you feel that LTE technology is going to help shape public safety grade communications, kind of long term going forward?
In the past, you could say, you can take a P25 network or a Tetra or DMR network, and that's it. That's your communications. There was no broadband communications. Nowadays, you have voice, you have data, and you can combine all of these communications together. You can have so many apps, you can have so many accessories, Bluetooth. It's a whole ecosystem what we're looking at right now, and that ecosystem is getting bigger and bigger and bigger all the time. So I think this era where we're living in right now is good business for the consultants. This gentleman knows everything about what's happening on this side of the JVCKENWOOD booth, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is actually, what I understand from you, is that this is the side where the products you are showcasing here is what you also sell around the world, not only in North America, Europe, other places in the world as well.
That is correct, and we primarily focus on the public safety customer, as we call it, which is primarily first responders, mission critical mission critical situations.
Okay.
So the products that I'm going to show you will include both the system infrastructure, which is kind of the network that supports all the communication, as well as some end user devices and end user applications that help provide that.
And you got new stuff released?
And we do have some new stuff released that we can talk about as we
let's
go.
do the countdown.
All
Number
right,
10.
let's go.
All right, let's go.
So over here,
yes,
this is kind of showing our infrastructure solutions. So basically we have something called the Atlas Distributed Architecture Network Solution. It is very unique in the fact that it does not have a coreless central controller. Everything is distributed just like an IP network, internet network would be, right? So you don't have any critical points of failure. So the fundamental solution is very simple. It is all connected in a distributed IP-based protocol, and they all talk together to kind of form a wide area network. It could be many counties, many cities, statewide, or even nationwide, right? And so we have a host of solutions that primarily include the repeaters on the radio access side, with a host of gateways and controllers that control the communications across the network. And we call all of that the Atlas solution. Okay. So this is the underpinning primarily for P25 solutions across the world. Australia, there are lots of pockets spread out. Middle East as well, that use P25. Russia is another example where there's P25 is popular. So
what do you guys do in Europe, for example? Because then we don't do P25 that much.
Yes.
So there's another technology.
That's right. So for Europe, primarily our focus has been two products, which is NXDN or NextEdge as we brand it, or DMR. And DMR has conventional and trunking.
So it's tier 3?
Tier 3.
We talk about
so if you go around the booth here, I'll show you some of the DMR solutions.
All right. Okay, it's crowded here, so let's take a look. It's a busy booth always,
Yes,
right?
so
It's always a busy
right.
booth here.
So a lot
All
of
right.
people here. So here, what we are showcasing is primarily the next edge solution, which is NXDN or DMR Tier II and Tier III. So in the US, DMR is gaining popularity, and Europe has been much ahead of the curve there, especially with Tier 3 trunk multi-site networks. So we have acquired a company out of Italy, Milan, Italy, called Radioactivity, and integrated that into the JVCKENWOOD portfolio. And so there are several deployments across Europe, including Italy, and I think we have some gentlemen here from Italy explaining the solution. But it is also a distributed architecture approach, no central controller, very high level of redundancy and reliability that allows controllers to take over functions from another when things fail. So we feel it is extremely well suited to hit a lot of mission critical applications like utilities and public safety, as well as lots of business applications.
Okay.
So that's kind of the product set over here.
Okay, all right.
This is new. So the DMR.
This is new, yes?
This is DMR Tier III. We launched at IWCE this year. So the Tier 3 solution, we had launched the Tier 2 solution 6 months back, and the show here we have basically announced the availability of DMR Tier 3.
And the good thing is, if you talk about DMR, and research from IHS said that the growth of digital communications in the world is not coming from P25 or Tetra, it's coming from DMR, right?
From DMR,
so
that's correct.
You're playing the right game.
We are
here.
playing the right game, and we think the timing is correct for us to capitalize on that market. Because a lot of things around DMR Tier 3 are around the solutions and capabilities that you build around that network. And we have a lot of experience with those applications. So now with the Tier 3 infrastructure, we are able to put all those solutions together to create, much more value for the customer.
So we're going to hear much more from your company in Europe, right, over the next few years?
Absolutely. Starting this year, you should hear a lot of Kenwood DMR Tier 3.
I look forward to that.
And we market and sell that as Kenwood Kairos.
Okay.
So Kenwood Kairos is going to be
And Kairos is, of course, from
the
Radioactivity.
the Italian company.
Okay, good. All right. So, number 5.
Okay.
We're doing the countdown further.
So let me talk about a couple of new things we have introduced here. So again, now I'm talking about P25 user radios. And P25 user radios, we've had a line over the last 2 years. We've announced building blocks of the product portfolio. In this fireman's outfit mannequin that you see here, we have some new integrations that we are announcing at the show today. So one of the key things is the integration with the fire mask. This particular fire mask comes from a company called MSA. MSA in the US is one of the large suppliers of SCBA equipment, right, which is the breathing apparatus that firemen use to kind of go combat fires. Now, when they are in the hazardous situation and wearing the mask, communication, their primary focus with their hands is to fight the fire and do their regular job. Communication becomes very critical, especially when they are in a covered mask environment and they need to communicate back to the command control outside the facility or to dispatch. And so we have done some integration using the Bluetooth technology where, when the fireman is talking in the mask, that is automatically transmitted out through the radio. They have some PTTs that they wear along with their equipment that they can hit, and then they can communicate. They don't need to worry about kind of all the audio and the noise because all of that is integrated into the mask and the radio. So they both.
So they don't need the radio actually to handle the radio.
They
right?
do not need to handle the radio. Most of the time the radio is inside a pouch, not even visible. The only items outside will be the speaker mics and then of course the mask, and those two are paired together.
So, and that means for firefighters you don't need apps that much. You just need communication.
That's right.
And that is very important.
That's right. It's simple, keep it basic, but
keep it simple,
reliable.
right?
That's right. So that's primary goal. And we have other manufacturers that are coming along also to get integrated. And each of them, the mask vendors have different capabilities in terms of, peer-to-peer communication, or communication back to command. So let me walk down. I'll talk about a couple of applications that we are So over here we have an indoor location solution that we are showing. So this is based on, again, leveraging the technology of Bluetooth and enabling the radios to communicate with Bluetooth beacons and provide indoor location. So as you know, all of these radios have GPS and they do pretty good in locating personnel outdoors. But when you're indoors, GPS is useless and you need to use some other alternate wireless technology. We have a partnership with a company that provides Bluetooth sensors. We distribute them around the building, and by Bluetooth connectivity between the radio to the beacons back to the mapping solution, anybody anywhere can locate the person. All these radios are multi-protocol, so you can use them in a P25 mode, an XDN mode, or a DMR mode. But the Bluetooth integration is all common across the technologies, so this is applicable across all of those technologies. And the last thing, Garrett, that I want to talk to you about is the LTE push-to-talk over cellular. So as we know, POC is very popular. It's gaining more and more popularity as LTE for first responders or even for non-first responders for business applications is useful. So we are announced a new smartphone, Kenwood Smartphone device that comes integrated with the POC application, and this can be supported either kind of on-premise or using cloud technology to help connect cellular networks with the LMR networks. Again, all technologies. Right now, for the US market, these are enabled with band 14, which is specifically targeted for FirstNet, and have the ability to get access to priority service.
So that means the hardware is JVCKENWOOD.
That's correct.
The software is JVCKENWOOd as well.
That's right. That's right. So we have a partnership with a company that helps us kind of on the hardware side, because our focus is mostly land mobile radio hardware. We leverage cellular industry, which moves at a much faster pace. We leverage partners to provide that, and then we package everything together as a full solution to sell with our LMR networks.